Hi James, it's great to meet you here we are going to start the Melbourne Cup Carnival very soon, and obviously we are going to do a Victoria Derby Day, which is a World Pool event at Hong Kong Cup, and we'd like to talk about the runners for the coming Saturday. One of it, of course, will be interesting is Zardozi, because obviously he's going to go run in the Melbourne Cup, but you're going to run him in the coming Saturday as well. What's the plan behind that? Can you explain about it?
Well, the use of the quick backup for horses in the Melbourne Cup has been a tried and true formula in the past, and what I'm finding is that as we continue to race up against these international imports, they're very difficult to beat in staying races. She had to watch an imposing import range up on her outside in the Metropolitan. She lost that race. She lost again to the imports in the Caulfield Cup, and I think if we're to beat them, then we have to race them the way we know, and one of the ways the Australian horses have been able to peak in the Melbourne Cup are through races like the Cox Plate, and also through the use of the quick backup on Derby Day. We no longer have a McKinnon there; it's now on the final day, but Zardozi's got the advantage of being a mare, so she can race at weight for age in the Empire Rose. This could be a really good mile gallop for her to go into the Melbourne Cup. It's just a way to get the horse ready, but for those who might have a ticket on her in the Empire Rose, well, she's still there to win, and plenty of Melbourne Cup winners have actually won on the Saturday en route to winning their Melbourne Cup. One of those horses was Empire Rose, who did win a McKinnon, and Zardozi runs in the Empire Rose. Zardozi is looking to be the first VRC Oaks winner since Light Fingers to win the Melbourne Cup, and Light Fingers herself placed third in the McKinnon on the Saturday prior to winning the Melbourne Cup. So if I can just use that as a gallop, keep her back down, it's an opportunity to remain on top of her and have her peaking on the day on Tuesday, then I'd be delighted. But in the meantime, it means I don't have to do quite so much with her at home, and she's had a very easy time since the Caulfield Cup, where she was good running fourth, but not good enough against those imported horses that she needs to improve against to be a winning chance.
Yep. So you expect her to run well on Saturday as well?
I do. I think she can. I think she can run a good race there. Orchestral is one of the horses to beat. Zardozi has quite nice form against Orchestral, but you just have to factor that in, because I've been setting her for 1.5 mile races and now a 2 mile race. So you could be forgiven for thinking she doesn't quite have the dash of some of these horses, and maybe that's why she's not one of the more favoured runners. But she's one of the best mares in that field, and therefore she's capable of running a very good race.
Yeah, and then for the coming Saturday, for the coming Tuesday, obviously you have Andrea on board for the horse. I think for the Hong Kong guys there, we are very familiar with him. So what would you expect, or what would any reasons why you want him to get him on board for the horse?
Well, Andrea Atzini is a classy rider. He's a classy guy, and has excelled in staying races in his career so far. He's ridden in a Melbourne Cup before. He's won races such as the Ebor and many staying races in the past. Even in this year, in April, he won the Sydney Cup on a horse with a lightweight who's running in the Melbourne Cup, incidentally, on Tuesday. So, as a European rider with lots of experience over staying journeys, he's really got the knack of getting horses to switch off, but also putting them in the race at the right time and using and spending their energy wisely. I like the way he rode the horse in the Caulfield Cup. He was very assertive, and I have great confidence in him being able to ride very well at the super lightweight of 51 kilos that she has in the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, that was good to hear. And then talk about Traffic Warden. Obviously, he's not lucky. He's unfortunate in that first. So what would you expect him to run on this Saturday?
Well, I've got to be very tempered with my expectations. First and foremost, he needs to get the little things right. He should be able to absorb the experience he had on Everest Day. Big crowd, a lot of energy, a lot of atmosphere, and it just got the better of him to the point where he misbehaved in the barriers. So what I first and foremost want to see from that horse is that he has a smooth day, and he was able to take in the he can take in the the big occasion on a day like Derby Day. There's no hiding from that. And when the gates open, I think he's got the ability to match with any other horse in that race. So if he's capable of winning that Coolmore, then it's going to do enormous things for his profile. But when it all boils down to it, the market told you in the Everest that he was a very capable sprinter and one of the main chances in that race. And I think that gives everybody looking on the idea that and the impression that he's one of the big players in this Coolmore. But he's going to need to go to another level. And as the fresh horse on the scene, with a nice jump out up the straight last week, where he was very stylish, held together by Jamie Carr, I think he's in the zone and really flying in order to be able to run to that rating required to win the Coolmore this weekend.
So do you think he's looking better after the Everest, and then obviously in Flemington, do you think he'll perform better?
One thing I noticed is that he's not changed. He's remained really rock solid the entire preparation. He doesn't look fit like a horse who's had 4 or 5 runs this prep. He doesn't look light like one of those horses. He looks strong and healthy and ready to go. He's a really strong 3-year-old who carries himself well. He's going to bring that strength to the track, and he can travel comfortably on a strong pace and still exhibit a turn of foot. I think a hard trying horse like Traffic Warden is going to be perfect for the Coolmore this year, and yet he's coming up against some very good opposition, because on paper it really looks like the race of the day.
So good luck for Saturday's races, and also of course the biggest race, the Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. So talking about I think of course Cummings think the Hong Kong punters will be aware with the December international races. Do you think you plan to send some horses, but maybe not for the coming December, but do you think in future you're going to send horses to Hong Kong?
Yeah, I think we will. I think we should. There's no doubt that the quality of the race carnival there is world class, and it'd be a privilege if we could find some horses that we've got in our small stables that would be, I think, of the calibre to take there, that didn't have other targets for later. And that's one thing we just need to keep in mind. If we have colts such as Traffic Warden, who would be able to go there and compete well, he does have targets in February and March and in April for him as well that we're mindful of. But we're always looking at the calendar, and we'd love to have a horse. Love to have a horse that would fit the profile.